I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys because you already saw it in the thumbnail. Allow me to introduce you to the Red Hornet. Holy smokes. Isn't that name epic? The Red Hornet? It's not even edgy, even a little bit. It's like not even an edgy name for a black and red weapon. Wow. Anyways, you guys are gonna find out real quick, this thing is in a league of its own in comparison to the build from 6 months ago. It's faster, it's more accurate, it's more durable, it's safer, that's for sure. Look at that. It almost makes me want to shoot the back of my hand. It's easier to use. I honestly just, oh, I almost forgot. It's called the Red Hornet, which is epic. To top it all off, I also completely rebooted the darts, or the stingers. These are feather fletched with a right helical twist, meaning they get tons and tons of spin in the air. Super good for the accuracy and the stability in flight. And the best part is this is called the Red Hornet, which is freaking epic. There's no escaping it, guys. We're having some fun today. Here you go. Hope you guys like it. So I actually plan on hunting with this, small game hunting, of course, but not this exact one. This one's for somebody. So after I'm done filming this, I'm gonna ship this out, but then I gotta make another one for myself. So color schemes are now on the table. Yellow is an option. I'm thinking the Killer Bee or the Yellow Jacket maybe, but I do know Barnet actually makes a camouflage one too. So what would I call that? The Silent Bee? No, that reminds me of the word debt. Speaking of which, the sponsor of today's video is PDS Debt. Guys, if you've been with me for more than a couple of years, you remember there was a time where I was not doing well. That's putting it mildly. One of my many problems was that I had racked up a lot of debt. And so I'm speaking from firsthand experience, guys, when I tell you, I know there's not much worse than just having that anxiety just grinding away in your stomach while you're trying to sleep at night. You wake up with it. Even the nice little moments throughout your day, you're just like seasoned with that bitterness. It's horrible. It's one of the worst things ever. Well, guys, I'm here to tell you there's light at the end of the tunnel with PDS Debt. They've helped hundreds of thousands of people get out of debt from credit cards, loans, medical bills. Oy, oy, oy. Remember that concussion I got and I owed like $9,000 for my hospital stay? There's no minimum credit score required. They're just here to help you save money, pay off your debt faster, and get money back in your pocket where it belongs. PDS Debt actually has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They've got thousands of 5-star reviews on Google, and they've got a 5-star rating from Trustpilot, because they work. Honestly, if I would have known about PDS Debt back when I was going through all my stuff, I might not have had to sell my house. I might not have lost my house. But it's okay. Literally everything in my life is better now. It's like not even close. But I could have had a house, which would be cool. So if you want to have a house, that's not how this works. Guys, you could be 30 seconds away from the road to being debt-free. Go ahead and go to pdsdebt.com/alpha for a free assessment about the best options that you have right now. That's pdsdebt.com/alpha. pdsdebt.com/alpha. Let's get back to the video. Alrighty, for the fork, I should take these out. The fork is just a couple of pieces of 3/16 flat bar, 3/4 inch wide, cut out on the bandsaw. Ignore that little thing right there. It was just a little experiment to see if I could aim with that, but I can't even see it when I stretch the bands out. So, like, you can see it a little bit, but it's really not helpful. Now I'm going to use the wheel of my belt sander to put a round edge on the inside of both of these pieces of steel so that they can fully seat up against the ring. And this is the moment where I kind of bevel the edges a little bit so that the weld penetrates better too. So I weld those two pieces to this 1.5" steel ring. I only weld one side to start out with because I want the back to be flat so I can slide it around a lot easier in the bandsaw. But this is where I cut these slots out that actually hold the bands. It's a lot nicer than clamps and fiddling with Allen keys and stuff, I gotta say. And once those are cut, now I can finish up the welding on this side. Now we're gonna smooth out the band slot with one of these strips of sandpaper. I literally cannot tell you how many times this shop roll of sandpaper has come in handy. It's just this long roll, you tear off a strip and you get to do that like shoe shine move on whatever it is you're trying to smooth out. Just so stinking useful for so many things. Now we cut the top of the ring off because the bands do go over the top, which means the dart is coming through about right here. Alrighty, it's on there good. Now, I've been wondering what I could do with all these slingshot handles I got laying around. I'm wondering if I might be able to turn them into the handle of a slingshot. I'm gonna go with the red one so the dart will go faster. All right, so I want the grip, or the fork rather, to be 7 inches in front of the grip, and then I want the brace to extend 7 inches behind the grip. So I'm gonna cut this off at 14 inches. All right, we got that welded on. You can see I just repurposed the original fork. I just bent it up and cut it down. You just put the 2 halves of the handle back on. Pretty snazzy. Now I'm just gonna weld up the arm brace and weld that on too. And I really do wish I could give you guys like better pointers for all of this bending. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I left this in the garage for a day and I've got a spider living inside of it already. That's crazy. ZNA evictions. I wish I could be a lot more specific about the angles of the arm brace and all that, but really you just gotta kind of bend it a little bit, feel it out, bend it a little bit more. The goal here is you want the frame to be as straight as possible, but when you draw it back, you don't want the bands to be touching this, this guard right here. The angle of this should be such that the darts can just slip right past all this stuff going on right here. And here is the base coat that I've slapped on it. It's flat black with these charcoal gray accents. I literally did these just by doing a solid coat on the very edge, and then as it progresses, just kind of dusting it lighter and lighter. I've done the same thing on the fork too. Basically the exact same process as the Hybrid Hunter V1, but I'm gonna show you how I do these little honeycombs on here. That'll actually be more relevant to the theme of this one as well. I'm gonna do red honeycombs on this one. Super simple. I put some masking tape on a piece of stainless steel and I cut the honeycomb pattern out on a laser engraver. So far I think making stencils out of masking tape is like top 2 uses for a laser engraver. I really don't use it all that often. This is very, very nice. Here we go. Now, do I put honeycombs on the front of the fork? I think I do. I hope this looks okay. You can never tell before you pull off the stencil, but we'll see. All right, now while that's drying, I'm gonna show you guys how to make the Red Hornet darts. It's not edgy. It's pointy. The cool thing about these is that they're actually repurposed out of the cheapest arrows on Amazon, the good old Tiger Archery Predators. These are the first arrows I ever bought. They serve me well, definitely. But once you get a taste of a decent arrow that just immediately adds 25 feet per second to your shots and is actually hitting where you're aiming, you just kind of lose all motivation to shoot these things. But now I actually have something cool to do with them. So this one is 5 inches long, but I just feel like it's right on the edge of stable and flight enough. It's not quite there. So I'm gonna go ahead and add, do I go the full inch or a half inch? I'm just gonna do a half inch. 5.5. All right, this is a, what is this called? Pipe cutter. Go ahead and put the arrow in your drill chuck and get it started. Once you get a little notch going, you can actually tighten it while you're spinning it. And this last little piece is gonna be kind of an experiment. I'm gonna check and see if I can actually use these old Fletching, if they're functional or if they're just too long for this. All right, that's 5 arrows, or 5 darts from a single arrow. Not bad. 3, 4, 5. Could get 2 more, actually 3 more. So I'm gonna remake this one. Ooh, 4 more. I actually Robin Hooded this one. You can see it's exploded. All right, now for a little cleanup, you can see from the pipe cutter, it kind of crushes the fibers inwards a little bit. So I'm gonna throw these back in the drill chuck and use my sanding wheel here. The wheel spins clockwise, so we're gonna angle this way so that it pushes the fibers outwards, and then we're gonna turn it this way so that I can scrape off the loose fibers on the outside. You'll see what I'm talking about. Now we drill some 1/8 inch holes, 1/4 inch up from the end. These were the old darts. I'm actually gonna reclaim all these inserts so I don't have to break into a new package. All right, so I'm gonna start gluing these in, and I'm gonna make sure that the hole is perpendicular to the blade. I should have friggin' seen this coming. All right, honest to God truth, I actually like the honeycombs here, but on the front, that's kind of a fail. It looks like red polka dots. It's just getting worse and worse the more I'm looking at it. Yeah, I'm gonna tape this up and paint over that. Holy smokes, was that the correct choice? Now with the paracord wrap on the back, I think that just really finalizes that look. Got the really nice even distribution of red accents across the whole length of the thing. Very tasteful, I gotta say. I would call this paint job done. So this is the fletching jig that I ended up grabbing at Bass Pro. I grabbed it for the specific reason that this was the only one that I could tell how it worked just by looking at it. So let's hope it's actually a good one, because that's usually not the way to choose hardware. But I've already done a few fletchings and it seems like it works very well. So I bought these little turkey feathers. These are right wing feathers, and this is a right helical jig. So I take this big Minecraft squid looking thing. It's got these little slots that you insert the fletchings into. Now we're gonna get the most even bead of Gorilla Super Glue on the white part that we possibly can. Now we insert the back end of the dart. Oh, I forgot to take this out. You can't really leave a broad head in there. There's not enough room. When you pull that thing out of the notch, it actually crushes it on its own. Then you put the little cap on there to get tension on the end, and then you just leave it in there for probably about a minute. This stuff actually cures pretty quick. All right, it's time to shuck the corn. Still very new to this thing. Push that back up. All right. Yeesh, that was not a good one. That's the first time that's happened to me. That one's totally wonky. It's too bad. I've done a few. I've done even more than this, but that's the first time I've had a real fail like that. All right, I was able to just kind of hand straighten it a little bit. Just kind of broke the glue off a little bit and put it back on. That should be fine. All right, now for the little grippy knot thing that comes out of the back. 5 inches of this paracord 275 should be plenty. I just insert it until I can see the end of it in one of the holes. From the other side, I poke the wire through until I can get a grip on that paracord. Pull it through, wrap it around the side, and then go into the other hole. All right, and just make that same old knot that I use for absolutely everything, because hey, it works. Use some pliers to pull on each individual strand. And that is just about done. I just gotta cut this and melt it. And that there is the finished dart. Now let's get these bands on. This is Theraband Gold 1¼ inch by 3/4 inch taper, and just a little micro cord loop wrapped up in there. So I drew a black line on here for consistency. I know that this is where I fold it over. I've only got the bandsaw to cut these slots out, and it doesn't make the thinnest slices ever, so I can't just do single layer bands in there. I gotta fold them over. If you know of a way to slice it thinner, go ahead and do that. But I drop any old thing, could be a little piece of wire. In this case, I'm using a piece of paracord into the little loop so I can pull it snug and everything will be nice and consistent between the two bands. And for the string hooks, the most unassuming but probably most complex part of the whole entire build, I went ahead and developed quite possibly the most functional and cool little thing bent out of a little piece of wire that you might see today. A shocking amount of brain power went into this little thing, but as you can see, it absolutely paid off because it's freaking awesome. This looks a lot closer than it is. I'm about 15 feet away from that target. Here's that experimental dart with the old fletchings. I can imagine it's way too much worse, especially at this range. Not bad. Yeah, that was very nearly a Robin Hood. Oh. Yeah. Regular wooden targets like this are actually a little too soft for these. They sink way too deep. They'll sink sometimes past the aluminum insert. It sounds weird, but these actually do best when shot at plywood. It stops them really at the perfect depth. I'll film some of that tomorrow. Alrighty, here we go. 12 yards away from the target. So I'm never gonna be shooting at the same dot twice in a row. I'm gonna go top, left, middle, right, bottom. I'm just doing that to try to avoid those Robin Hood hits. Destroying your own arrow is only cool like the first time, then it gets kind of annoying. All right, top. Pretty close, gotta go a little higher. Already though, you can see just that aiming is in a league of its own in comparison to the last one where I was just about hitting that whole entire tabletop on a consistent basis. Oh, that was bad. I was aiming for the middle and I hit the one on the left. I flinched. I got a nasty flinch, guys. I was shooting slingshots with hand slaps for too long. I'm gonna go for the middle again. Better. Did I get that? Might have been right on the edge. Okay, right. Ooh, these are getting close, guys. Now here's some experimental ones. The old Fletchings and some new ones that are also vinyl. Ah, just left. I'm gonna go bottom again. Ooh, finally, let's check it out. I mean, guys, come on. Here's here, here's here. This one was supposed to be here, so that one was bad, but this one goes here, this one's here, these two here. That's pretty dang good. Oh, check out how easy they come out of the plywood too. Just make sure the thread is totally tight, and then you grab them from the back and you just very, very lightly wiggle in the direction of the blades. Just pop right out. It's so nice. Let's take a few more shots, see if I can get some consecutive bullseyes. My microphone's about to die though, so I gotta make this quick. If I can get to the point where I'm consistently hitting these red dots from 12 yards, I'd be totally confident taking this thing hunting. Ooh, fork hit. Focusing too much on the target. I have never had that before. Bands are good. Wow, that was bad. Oh no, I hit the guard. I gotta be more careful about that. Nice. The slingshot's apologizing for getting in the way. I can't wait for my sniper sling bands to show up. I got the 0.7 black bands. There we go. I don't think I hit it, but that was also very close. Bottom. See, when I don't flinch, the side-to-side accuracy is actually really good. The real game is judging the drop. Those heavier black bands should help a lot with that drop, though. No joke, though, guys. I'm the master of almost hitting the target. If you need a guy to almost hit a target, pretty much no one's better than me. Sometimes I do accidentally hit the bullseye, which is kind of embarrassing, but generally I'm pretty good at almost hitting it. One more round, my microphone's just about to die. This is fun. I could see myself doing this all day long. This may have to not be my last round. It's too embarrassing. Top. There we go, baby. Left. Left. There we go. I think it's a little off. Very, very close, though. What'd I say? King of almost. It's terrible. Oh, well, my mic's about to die. You guys get the idea. It is better, trust me. I definitely need some more practice, but I got no problem with that because this thing's fun as heck. All right, I gotta go edit. Ah, I forgot the speed test. I'll do it tomorrow. I found the old bands. Let's see if I can get a few shots off before they explode. So in that last video, I did say that they were doing 155 feet per second, but I later discovered a big flaw in the way that I was calculating. Once I actually tested with the Crony, they were doing about 130. So if I can beat 130, man, these things are ancient. Oh, baby. Wow, these are strong. 138. I'm sure if these were fresh, they'd be going a lot faster. Maybe 145. This is not a good sign. I can hear them like crunching when I pull them back. This is not very safe. I'm doing it so you don't have to, kids. What am I talking about? My audience is like 30 years old. Ooh, I nailed that. Whoa, 144. And I nailed the target. I guess I'll go again. I think I pulled back and shot that last one a lot faster. 147. Speed shooting really does it. 153. Nice. 146. All of those broke 140. Very cool. I'm noticing a problem though. I was wondering for a sec how that was happening. Might have to rethink the feather fletchings. I might have to go with vinyl from now on. It stinks. I really like the look of these, but if they're only going to last a few dozen shots, it doesn't really matter what they look like on. Wow, what epic fun. That's all I got for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.